Hi, Simone. So sorry about the delay. Um, Weekends on January very busy. I was trying to make the recording very early, soon after or the day after the class, the course. But yeah, I just had to make a lot of stuff, a lot of phone calls, and have like 7 hours of courses to give, plus taking care of the family. So it was quite messy. So anyway, I recommended you to check Bloomberg.com time to time. You can have a better idea of, it's mostly U.S. economy, but economy is a global thing. It's not just one country. Everything is connected, so you can also have different ideas about um, the Canadian economy by checking the American economy. I would say, US dollar is better than the Canadian dollar. I would say, you know, America is stronger. We're stronger because it's a larger country. Different states have, powerful, sustainable economy, based on finances, banking. If you are in California, you can see that Hollywood is making a lot of money. It's a great business, and Silicon Valley, where you have all the IT engineers, startups, making lots of money. So we are not talking about millions. We are talking about billions. Here it's just one example of an article you can check, you can see, or you can find on Bloomberg. It's about Wells Fargo opening or faking different bank accounts. Um, I was asking you about the Brazilian education system, and you said it's elitist. Few people go to school, and the government doesn't really invest in the public sector. People don't really question anything. So be careful. People are, and people don't have. So you're not gonna have doesn't have. Everybody is. Everybody wants. Okay. Um, you know, I think if you want to stay in Brazil, you don't question anything. You can just have like a simple life. You can. I mean, I don't really know too much about the Brazilian culture. Um, Concerning the Latin American economy, the only country I really know is Mexico, because my husband is Mexican, and I worked there for different banks, and I worked for an American law firm called John Day, and I was teaching lawyers. I was giving them different courses about common law. Common law is the system, the juridical system that it's used in America and in UK. So I was teaching these Mexican lawyers that were already speaking English, more or less English, and I was helping them to pass or to take as what's the name, the bar exam in New York. So they had a lot of work. Some of them were good, some were a tad bit slow. So you can find this kind of students in regular courses, in regular classes. Okay, so but anyway, I know the Mexican economy. It's um, I would say it's a second economy in Latin America. If you don't want to think about the central aspect, or um, it's um, it's a very good economy if the politicians were a tiny bit more willing to reinvest. You know. They build a lot of bridges. They make more and more. Not bridges. When I'm talking about roads, highways, but it's not free, of course. So if you want to take the ugliest highways, so it's free. But if you want to be left alone, you don't want to have to go through the traffic. Well, you're gonna have to pay the toll. Don't remember how much it is, but it can be expensive. Okay, it's cheaper than in Europe, of course, but it can be expensive after a while. So the the thing you have to be careful is how to compare, uh, you know, effectively different different economies, like the Canadian economy, with let's say the Brazilian economy. It's not always easy, but because there are so many different factors, so many different settings can be potentially different. It's really hard to compare two countries, because the cultures, history, and so forth. But anyway, it's important to be ambitious in your country, to know how to know what you want. If you want to stay there, to stagnate, to have a simple life, of course, it's fine. When you guys want to get out of Brazil, and there are many people, Americans, Canadians, they want to get out of their own country because it's expensive to live there. So the thing is, when you have your retirement, it's not too much money, but you can live very well in a country like Mexico. There are many Canadians, Americans moving there actually because it's sunny, the medical system is cheaper than in comparison to America, and also you can, how can I say, you can live well because the food is great, and cheap, and better, healthier, healthier than in Canada and in America. If you want to eat healthy foods in Canada and in America, you can go to Whole Foods. It's quite expensive. I used to spend 2 or 3 thousand a month just on food going there, and I stopped trying just to go to normal regular supermarkets, buying lots of fruits, vegetables, and try to see if we can just stay healthy like that. So far, so good. Partying, okay, so it's nice to party, but there is a time where you have to get back to work and be productive and think about the future or your family. Do you think the Olympics, so you can say Olympic Games or Olympics, helped the country? And you know I think it helped some people, to build all these different places, all these different stadiums. It's expensive, so always the taxpayers who are the ones to give the money, to pay, to build, to repair and everything, and the benefits, the profits, well, the taxpayers don't get anything, they just pay and that's it. The sponsors, they get all the benefits and the profits, unfortunately. So it was the same with the World Cup. The interest rate is high in Brazil. You told me it was 14.5 per year instead of 4 a year. And here you can check also the pay scale for different teachers in Canada. So you can, the salary looks appealing, but you have to understand that every month they take away a lot of expenses, for your retirement, your health care, social security, different things. So they can take up to, let's say, 1,500. My husband, when he was working for this company, I think he was making after taxes 3,000 a month, and normally should have had like 5,000. It was 5,500, so they were taking a lot of money, yeah, per month. So imagine, so it's expensive. It's expensive to live in Canada. You said that the different neighborhoods in Brazil, in Rio, and I'm pretty sure in Sao Paulo is the same. You can be robbed. The criminality is, can be a small criminality, a large criminality, very serious criminality. People can rob you at home, in your car, everywhere. You know, because people don't have money, they're desperate, and also there's a system of where you can, how can I say, some people, they just like easy money, just take from other people, and you don't have to work for it. Some places are no longer safe. Okay, they want to get rich, or they want to get richer. Yeah, they want to get rich, and they are. So I don't know who we were talking about exactly. Some Brazilians, they are a bunch of opportunists. Okay, this is important to understand also. I mean, you know the president system, but it's also interesting to know how to explain it. You can also check the Wikipedia and check, how can I explain, how can I describe the political system, juridical system, so the separation of power anywhere in any kind of country is a sign of democracy. Okay, otherwise, first of all, you need a constitution. After this constitution needs to separate the three main powers, okay, legislative, executive, judiciary. So if it's separated, there's um, an aspect of democracy. Okay, of course, democracy is quite questionable nowadays, but it's the appearance of democracy. Okay, there are different systems, direct, semi-direct, indirect, where you elect directly somebody. A prime minister is not necessarily directly elected by the people. A president is directly elected by the people. I mean, similarly elected by the people, because in America you have what we call the like the grand electors. So some people will choose either a Democrat or a Republican, and we saw like lately that the different elections in different states. Some people were choosing a specific candidate, and other people like investors or big senators, they decided to vote for somebody else. So the appearance of democracy in America is a joke. I can say so much about it. It's quite frightening sometimes. So people are mostly, essentially, Catholics in Brazil. So be careful. Here we have different expressions concerning the future. I'm about to speak. It's an immediate future. I'm going to speak. It's a near future, and I will speak. So it's a regular future simple. Okay, a simple future. So I don't want to keep working for my company. That's what you were telling me about. It's not operational. Okay, so you can use, if you really want to explain, to talk about yourself, to introduce yourself, you can say, I'm currently working for, Google, for the government. I'm a public officer, or I work for the government. I'm an economist. I am okay. I'm currently working for, because it's in the progress, in the process, okay, or I work for Google. Or you can also use a simple past. I worked for Google, that's an example, of course, for 5 years, for 10 years, okay. I would like to change. I'm currently looking for a new job. And so I was asking you, where did you study? Okay, so you can say, okay, I studied in this university for 4 years, 5 years, whatever. I study a master in economics, for instance. Okay. So you told me that in Brazil there are many expats. Okay, so these are immigrants. There's a funny thing about it is just, if I live in Mexico, I'm logically an immigrant, but because I'm white, I work and make more money than the average Mexicans, I'm called an expat. It's in Europe, when you have a lot of Africans going to Europe, we call them immigrants, not expats. There is this kind of a hypocrisy on this level, which is interesting to study. So the different expats or immigrants, they came here during the Second World War to hide. They are more or less the middle class. And now you find another kind of population in my neighborhood. Be careful, neighborhood like that, I made a mistake. If you want to be faster with different, if you're looking for a word and everything, just go to Google Translate. It's not perfect. By far, it is not perfect. If you want just to look for a word, it's fine. But if you're looking for full sentence, complex, sophisticated sentence, it may have some difficulties. Okay. Anyway, athletes. these athletes. You said not too far during the Olympics, some athletes were staying at in a hotel. Okay, the march past Louis Vuitton, the parade song. That's my my transcript is better. Here, sorry. Close by is like not too far from. So close by, we're living several athletes, Olympic athletes, parade, a parade. Okay, be careful because the A sounds like a sometimes. So it's most of the vowels in English are closed, so not like open like o, e. No, they're very closed. You cannot really pronounce the vowels very, very well in American English or Canadian or even British. British has a different accent, but still. The neighbors, okay, are different now. Everything is changing. Even where I was living when I was a kid, the neighborhood was quite different, more simple, safer, and it's quite everything is changing. Canada is a very safe place. You still have some criminality. I would say it can be boring at times. Can I say? Artistically speaking, it's not the greatest country for that. That's why many artists, Canadian artists, are moving to America. In order to make a better living and to have access to a larger market. Okay, so middle class neighborhood. It's where you live in. It's quite expensive now to live in Brazil. Renting is going up everywhere actually, but the salaries are not necessarily going up, unfortunately. And I was asking you, how do you see yourself in 5 years? That's your homework. Okay, so if you can send me an email explaining how do you see yourself in 5 years, that would be great because I need to see how you spell things. Because you can speak in a specific way, you may not make a lot of mistakes, but if you spell and you make a lot of mistakes, that can be bad, especially if you want to be in touch with managers, different people. They have an American Canadian education, they may feel a bit repelled by that. Okay, that's just the reality. You have to deal with that. You need to work on the spelling as well. Okay, Simone, you have a wonderful night. It's late, and I'll see you on Friday, normal time. Let me know if you have any questions. Your friend just contacted me, so I need to email him back and let's see if he's interested in my courses. I may just give him like specialized courses, and I don't know if he's into. Yeah, you told me he's a biologist, so that's not really my cup of tea. But we can talk about different topics. So have a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye bye.